Today we're talking about my initial impressions of this beast of a shoe right here, the Nike ZoomX Vaporfly Next Percent. What a mouthful. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brendon, and on this channel we talk all things running, from running shoe reviews to running training to everything in between, in the eyes of a non-elite runner such as myself. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button right down there. We non-elites will become more elite together, and maybe the Nike Next Percent will help us get to that level. Let's get into it. I forgot to mention that I have taken this shoe out on 2 runs. One of the runs was super rainy, the other run was nice and dry. I've totaled like 11 miles or something in this shoe so far. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So I know I'm very late to the game when it comes to the Nike Next Percent. These shoes are almost 2 years old now, believe it or not. But I am finally a real shoe tuber because I got myself a pair. So let's start off by giving the stats and features, although I'm sure you already know about this. It has a 40mm stack height in the heel, 32 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. In my size 10.5 US men's, it comes in at 201 grams. I'll leave it in ounces right here, but I think it's like low 7s or high 6s in ounces, which is pretty insane, guys. That's a super light shoe. Actually, the lightest carbon fiber plated shoe I have in my collection, and it feels like nothing in hand. Pretty light. Now moving on to the upper, and this Vaporweave material, guys, is absolutely insane. Now I have heard that the material feels a little strange, but having it in hand and feeling it myself, holy crap. This feels like it was brought back here to Earth from some other planet for the purpose of solving running crimes. That's right, when I lace up this shoe, this Vaporweave material, it makes me feel like some sort of running superhero with a specially made suit to go solve running crimes. But we're getting sidetracked. How does this upper feel? This upper feels pretty fantastic to me. Now, I will say that when I was initially lacing up the shoe, I did have a little bit of weird pressure down near my toes, and I was kind of concerned. However, after I finished lacing it up, that pressure was completely relieved and I felt extremely locked down. Now, one thing to note is this is extremely snug in the toe box for me. Yeah, I do have enough room for my toes, I'm not hitting the edge of the shoe. However, I can't really wiggle my toes whatsoever. For example, I put the Hyperion Elite number 2 on one foot and the Vaporfly Next Percent on the other and tried to wiggle my toes. In the Vaporfly Next Percent, I could barely wiggle my toes. On the Hyperion Elite number 2, I had so much room in that toe box and could stretch the material, I was floating around. However, when I got out on the run in the Vaporfly Next Percent, my God, did I ever feel good. It felt like the upper was non-existent. It's extremely breathable, and honestly, maybe one of my favorite uppers, although the Endorphin Pro is still high up on that list. Moving back to the heel counter here on the Vaporfly, I love the amount of structure they have back here, and the little bit of padding they put around the ankle collar. The creme de la creme, the creme de la creme. Now this upper overall, I'm loving so far. Like I said, it's a little snug, so if you need some room in the toe box or you don't like feeling completely restricted, maybe look the other way. There are tons of other options and cheaper options at that on the market. Now let's move on to where the money happens, the ZoomX midsole. This ZoomX material is it. It's it. Nike has figured it out with this ZoomX material. I thought before that the Endorphin Pro, Endorphin Speed midsole was the creme de la creme. Nah, I was completely wrong. This ZoomX material is next level. When I was running along, I don't know how else to explain it other than it feels like I'm just bouncing. I'm hitting the concrete and then boinging right off. This ZoomX material, guys, I absolutely love it. I was concerned though that I would feel a little unstable due to the amount of squish, and it seems pretty narrow back here, and I do tend to pronate a bit. However, that has not been an issue so far. I'll leave some footage right here and you can kind of see how much I'm rolling inwards. I'm still rolling inwards a little bit, but in terms of stability, guys, I honestly haven't had much issue in this. No more issue than I've had in the Endorphin Pro. Actually, I think in the Endorphin Pro, I've been pronating a little bit more. So guys, this midsole, it just is amazing. My legs felt completely fresh. I was putting out paces for a given heart rate that I honestly didn't think was possible. So I was running like 5:15 per kilometer pace with an average heart rate of 140. Typically, that average heart rate would be for like a 6-minute pace. I'm not kidding. For that pace, I would expect my heart rate to be upwards of 147, 150. And keep in mind, this wasn't just one off run. I did 2 runs and found the exact same thing over both runs. Maybe I am getting a bit fitter, but would that fitness come overnight? I don't think so, because it was only last week that I was doing these same paces for a higher heart rate. I do think that the ZoomX material in this midsole here has helped me dramatically with my paces and feeling fresh. Guys, I don't know what else to say, but Nike, you got it with the ZoomX material. There are other running shoe companies coming up from behind, but I can definitely see why these shoes fly off the shelf, and I do want to get my hands on the Alphafly. But like I said in my London Marathon videos, we didn't see many of the Nike Elites wearing the Alphafly on the men's side anyway. The female side, different story. On the men's side, they were wearing mainly the Vaporfly. I haven't even mentioned the carbon fiber plate, but it's just the whole package works so well together. The ZoomX foam combined with the carbon fiber plate, it is fantastic. Now the carbon fiber plate is less stiff in the Next Percent than it is in the Endorphin Pro, and maybe that's why I find myself just a little bit more stable, because I'm able to actually flex this. Who knows, maybe the carbon fiber plate in the Endorphin Pro is giving me that little bit of extra wobbliness. Who knows? We'll do a comparison of those two shoes very soon. Now moving on to the oat sole. I did take this shoe out on a rainy day and I had zero issue. I was running through big puddles, going through a bunch of rocks that were a little bit wet, and I had no issue. However, I don't think I'd take this out doing sprints on wet grass, but I don't think that's really the use case that Nike intends this oat sole to be used for. Yeah, overall the oat sole works. I didn't have any issues on a rainy day. And guys, overall, I can see why this shoe is 330 Canadian dollars. Now, would I pay 330 Canadian dollars for it? I think I probably would, but I am very happy that I got it for under 200 Canadian dollars. That is a steal and a half. I honestly can't believe it still. So overall, guys, the Nike ZoomX Vaporfly Next Percent is like nothing I've run in before. Now, I thought the Endorphin Speed was my fun shoe. Now I have a new fun shoe, and that is the Next Percent. Now I do still love the Endorphin Speed, and I don't want to wear these out because, like I said, they are expensive, but I would probably buy them again for that $330. So the Endorphin Speed is still going to be getting used when I want to have some fun. But overall, guys, I think this will have to be my racing shoe from 5K to half marathon. Now for the full marathon, I still might actually go for the Brooks Hyperion Elite number 2, just because it's a little bit more stable, but we'll have to see when that time comes. We have a lot more comparisons to do, so hit that subscribe button. Overall, guys, I'm completely blown away by this shoe. Did not expect this shoe to be what it is, but Nike just has figured it out. They have it figured out. Thank you all so much for making it to the end of the video. I'm gonna throw it back to how I got this shoe and the Endorphin Pro initial impressions. Have a great day, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya later.